Hello everyone and welcome back to Abstract Medicine. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. So very excited about this video. As you know, I've not been 100, but I wanted to do this video all about what makes you hot. What makes you hot, what makes you attractive, what makes you interesting. It's going to be a pick a pile between 1, 2 and 3 piles. I'll be showing you the stickers shortly. There's going to be 3 stickers basically, and just a fun reading just to get me out of the funk of being inside more than I want to be inside, yeah, just to do something that's slightly out of the ordinary here on Abstract Medicine. So what makes you hot? We're going to be looking at 3 piles today. So the first pile is the sunglasses. I should wear them like this, really. The second pile is the broccoli. The third pile is the panda. I'll be showing you a close-up of each sticker right now. Here is your pile selection. We have pile 1, pile 2 and pile 3. If you need time to meditate over your pile before you select it, you can do that now. Once you've chosen your pile, you can go to the timestamp down below and I will see you at your timestamps. Pile 1, for those of you who chose the sunny sunglasses, that kind of works. Rocking it. Yeah, sunglasses. Ooh, yeah, you are hot. Pile 1. You're wearing sunglasses. So like, you're the sun is what I'm picking up on. You are the sun. I'm picking up on strong Leo energy for a lot of you. Picking up on strong Leo sun signs, or you're embodying the energy of the Leo energy. So you're embodying the Leo energy. You could be very well-known people. You may love hot climates. You have a banging body, I'm hearing. You've got a great body. What makes you hot is that your confidence rocks, I'm hearing. You have a very strong confidence. You could even be rock stars, musicians. I'm picking up on a lot of creatives here for this pile. Yeah, let me see what else I can pick up on intuitively before I look at the cards. Sagittarius energy as well, picking up on travelers, that people love to travel. You could be traveling for a while. You may have been traveling over the last 2, 3, 4 years, a lot, so you're barely at home. I feel like you are a real people person. Some of you, there's a divide here in this group. Some of you are real people, and then some of you are just like not people, but you're outside a lot. So I'm picking up on people who love to travel either solo or with their partner, like in a caravan, camper van, by train, by foot. I'm seeing truckers. I'm seeing people that like to hike. I'm seeing someone that has like a, like a rucksack and camping gear. I'm also seeing that book Into the Wild, which was turned into a film. I feel like a lot of you are solo travelers, indeed. And I feel like even though it could be very scary for a lot of people to travel on their own, I feel like you have that courage, and I feel like you, pile 1, are very courageous people, and I think that's what makes you really hot and attractive, pile 1. You're very courageous, you're very gung-ho. I'm picking up on Aries energy now. I'm picking up on the Fool card in the major arcana, so it'd be interesting to see if the Fool card comes up. yeah, I'm picking up on people who just have a lot of gumption, I'm hearing. I'm also picking up on some of you are Jewish or have Jewish heritage, and that is very attractive. Pile one. I just realised that my starry lights aren't on. Let me just put them on for you. And you can barely see them, but it's quite fun. It's quite nice for me because I can see them over here. It's 3:13 at this time. So I love like the timer. Sorry, what was that? Some of you could speak very quickly as well. I'm picking up on Gemini energy as well for you, pile one. You could have strong Gemini placements. Now remember, when I pick up on star signs, it could be your embodiment. It could be the way you speak. I'm seeing 333. It could be you act like that sign, like stereotype, or you may have very, very, very strong placements. I just saw 344 and 333 earlier. So picking up on teachers, coaches, masters of their craft. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up on. And, you know, as I said, I just switched the lights on, the starlights for you. And I think that, there's something special about you. Let me just move the camera a little bit so I can, there. So you can see a few more stars, hopefully. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you, pole one, is that you are almost 100% definitely very well known, very famous. Let's have a look at the major arcana. Let's have a look at the tarot. Sorry, let's have a look at the tarot. I'm looking outside at the window and just seeing if there's any other signs that I need to see. I feel like you're very attractive. I mean, just as we've started your reading, we've had 2 flies just fly directly onto the window and they're still stuck on the window. I think people, once they meet you, they become really obsessed. They become sort of attached. Almost, I'm picking up on idolatry vibes. I'm picking up on people who are very iconic, very unusually dressed. Picking up on Aquarius energy as well. Okay, let's have a look at the 3. So we've got 4 of Cups. There's a butterfly outside I'm looking at, outside the window. So we've got 4 of Cups. Ooh, I just heard that song, I'm a Heartbreaker. I'm a heartbreaker, I'm a heartbreaker, I'm a heartbreaker. Cringe, because yeah, it's I think it's Black Eyed Peas. Anyway, you could be heartbreakers. 7 of Swords. Let me just get all these cards out and then I'll read the energy further, okay? Ace of Wands. Yeah, that's where all the attraction's coming in. You're naturally, classically beautiful. You're naturally, classically handsome, you know? And, you know, handsome, the word handsome is used in all genders, like masculine and feminine genders, or whatever you choose to identify yourself as. And I think that people, okay, I want to be careful not to be rude, but people, if you are a man, and you have a certain appendage, people think that you have quite a well-blessed appendage. There you go. That's safe for YouTube, isn't it? Yeah. A well-blessed appendage with the Ace of Wands. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You carry big D energy. And like, even if you aren't a man and you identify as something else, you carry that energy of like, I'm the boss, you know, I am that, you know, street parlance, I am that ish, you know, I am that, it's the energy of very assuredness and strong confidence. And people find that very attractive, Very, very attractive, pole one. We have the King of Coins. It matches my ring. My green amethyst ring. So yeah, there you go. The green amethyst, and the amethyst is about the healer, and green is the colour of abundance and affluence and protection and healing. You know, and the King of Coins, again, regardless of gender here, beautiful card. This is the Fountain Tarot deck, by the way. You know, it's someone who is very self-assured. You know, they're on their throne. They're very steady, stable. I just heard protective. Okay, so a lot of you, pile one. I also feel like for some of you, pile oneers will be picking pile three as well, because I heard pile three as well. So in my mind, in my head. So I think that a lot of you who pick pile one, who have picked pile one, are very protective. You love to make people feel very safe. Particularly for those of you who are masculine, even in your energy, you are all about the family, all about protecting the home. You're very financially stable, and that's what makes you very hot and attractive, pole one. That's what I'm seeing here. I think with the Four of Cups, it's an interesting energy, because I get the energy that you are a heartbreaker, but maybe in your youth. So even if you're 18 and you're watching this video, that's fine. But maybe right now, you may need to kiss a lot of frogs in order to find, you know, true love. And I feel like picking up on Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio here as well. I feel like you've been disappointed by love, or you will be, unfortunately, disappointed by love. But it's better to experience those experiences over nothing at all. It's like Shakespeare spoke about this in his plays. You know, I'd rather I had loved than not at all, you know. And I'm picking up on this for you as well, pile one, that what makes you very attractive is the fact that you have a very giving and open heart. At least in your youth, you kind of wear your heart on your sleeve. And I think that people may misread you as a heartbreaker, but actually you're not. You're just besotted with love. You're in love with love. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up on, pile one. I think in your youth, you could be, again, very disappointed by love itself and romance, and I feel like people may reject you even before excuse me, I feel like people may reject you before you reject them, pile one. And I think that this is something that people want to do as a self-precautionary measure, because they feel like they already know your potential. If you're younger than 25, people already know your potential and where you're going in your future. You have a very bright future ahead of you, and people are very perceptive to that energy, or at least that very strong potential in you. And I think that people, you know, energy never lies, and I think that people really see that in your energy field. They see that in your aura, pile one. And I think that because they think that, and because they see that in your energetic aura, you could have a blue, green and orange, yellow aura, by the way, purple aura as well. I just saw butterflies, so that's confirmation. It just flew very, very close to the window. That's confirmation for a lot of you. Your aura is purple, blue, orange, yellow and green. Yeah, that people see you, sorry, there's lots of messages coming in for you, Pawan. People see you as someone who is kind of like a hopeless romantic, but also is very dreamy. You'd be the dream, like, boy next door, dream girl next door, dream person next door kind of vibe. But once they really get to know you, they kind of latch on and they are very attracted to you, and they know that you're destined for great success and great wealth and abundance, and you kind of have this effortless energy about you. I'm picking up on models, actors, artists, musicians. Like, you have a very effortless air to you, and picking up on strong Aquarius as well placements. You have a very effortless air, and I'm picking up on someone, or a lot of you, who have this kind of off-duty model look. So you just wear some baggy jeans, some baggy trousers, and you look the ish. You know, you look really cool. There's an energy of you looking very, very cool, pile one. And this isn't something that could be copied, although people try to copy you, or try to copy your mannerisms, try to copy your they try to copy your mannerisms, they try to copy your like nuances and very charming behavior, but they can't ever multiply that. They couldn't sort of clone that, you know. And I think you have a lot of wannabe clones. I feel like you have a lot of wannabes around you, and I think that actually you're a bit of a loner. I think that pile one, you're a bit of a loner, and I think that you attract a lot of people because you're a bit of a loner. There's that film with Jake Gyllenhaal that made him into like a cult classic actor. I've never really... Anyway, I've got my own opinions about him. Not bad, I never saw the appeal really, but I can understand why certain people would. He's got that kind of sad boy look, you know, and you know, that was it, Donnie Darko, that was it. This is the energy that it's giving, pile one. So you're giving the actor who played the main character, I think it's Donnie Darko, or the other one with the big eyebrows, I can't remember. Either one, it's that vibe of you just have this like cool edge to you. It's unusual. Some of you, yes, you could be very classically handsome, but some of you are also very unusual looking, because I spoke about models. So models have a very unusual look. I mean, like, my mum was a model for like quite a few years, and for the time she had a very unusual look, and it's not because she's very dark skinned, it's not because of that, it's because she did have a very unusual look. She had very like prominent cheekbones, and you know, quite big eyes, and you know, just very unusual. And yes, and at the time there was a rarity of black models in Europe, and you know, she's South American, indigenous. So yeah, you know, it's a very unusual look, and I think now, thanks to her and many others, there's been more of a prominence, and I think you set the trend, pile one. I think you set the trend for new ways of seeing beauty, and I think people find that very attractive. They find you very attractive. You have some of you may have really unusual noses, or you have unusual shoulders, or you have a beautiful like clavicle, I'm hearing. You've got a lovely chest area, like waist, like for some of you are very naturally slender, and some of you are not naturally slender, but the way your comportment is very attractive. Also, you have very beautiful hands, I'm hearing. You've got wonderful hands. There's a strength in your hands that people find very attractive. A lot of you also have healing hands, pile one. So when you touch someone, you hold someone, and you give someone a hug, which would be the King of Pentacles energy, Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, you really are very abundant with your embraces. You're very giving. You're also very like giving financially and with your gifts. At least when you get older, you become more financially stable and more philanthropic. Excuse me, I'm still recovering from COVID. Excuse me. And yeah, it's just a bit annoying. But I wanted to do this reading to kind of get me out of the funk, as I said. So please forgive the spluttering. But yeah, what I'm picking up on, Pole 1, is that you have this, some of you have this like sad boy energy, sad boy vibe, sad boy look about you, and like you make sad I've heard this before, you make looking sad look very attractive and very hot, and you turn that into creativity, turn that into art, you know, someone who's like a, not a misanthrope, but like kinda like, someone who makes misery look cool, I don't know, kind of emo, sort of emo vibes, you know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With the 7 of, I mean, like, people are blinded by how attractive you are. You have such a sunny energy about you. You're so bright. And I think that in your youth, you don't quite realize that, because I also think that, Pile 1, you try to fit into certain groups when you're younger, in your younger years, and you just can't seem to fit in, and it's not your place to fit in. You're meant to stand out, Pole 1, is what I'm seeing. With the Ace of Wands, you're meant to stand out. You're meant to stand out as a leader, as someone who is a creative. The Wands energy is creativity, it's inspiration. You're very attractive. You're very attractive because you're very inspirational. And I think that you have great aspirations in your youth that may fail. So, you know, say, for example, the classic creative thing is like, you know, or like the actor thing, or like the writer's thing, where you approach so many publishers to have your book published, but you end up not being able to get your book published because of whatever reason, you know, just like J.K. Rowling wasn't able to get Harry Potter published, but she knocked on many, many doors, and like all the people that said no to her are kicking themselves now because they realised how much of a lucrative, creative, inspirational, you know, project, as it were, was launched into the world that she was really inspired by. And, you know, whether this was a God-given gift or whether this was something that she had perceived maybe through the Black Mirror, not just the show, I mean, like, you know, spiritually, is another thing. But you have to, it's like the same thing with love and with work. I feel like you're going to receive a lot of no's before you receive the yeses. And again, I feel like a lot of people see your potential. Maybe at the beginning, I'm seeing like a James Dean character. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like someone who could fit very well in a pair of Levi's 501s, doing a bit of a shoot modeling session here and there, but is finding it really difficult to pay their rent. You know, someone who drives up and down, you know, from city to city or like town to town, even in Los Angeles, and they're trying to make their big break, and they on the outside from where they came, it looks really good, that they look like they're doing great moves, they're making money moves, but actually they're finding it very difficult to pay their rent, they're finding it difficult to eat, to drink, they're kind of almost on the brink of starvation, to be honest, and homelessness. And for some random reason, Pile 1, people find that very attractive, because again, you have this courage about you. Remember I spoke about courage. You have this real strong inner strength and courage about you, Pile 1. I also saw 2-1-2-2 as well, and I feel like everything's going to balance out. You know, things aren't always going to be wayward. Once you do become famous, because I feel like a lot of you will just inevitably become very well known for your creativity, for your gifts, even for some of you for your spiritual I just heard spiritual acumen, which I've never heard before, your spiritual talents. You end up shining, and you end up being a beacon of light and inspiration for so many. Pole 1, you're that's what makes you very attractive. With the 7 of Swords, I will just say a pre-warning, because I am that person, I am that kind of healer that wants to guide you and protect you too, is just be careful. Well, this is part of your karma as well, Pile 1, is that because in your youth you will be very naive, okay? You will have people around you who will try to, win you over, will try to take advantage of you because of your good looks, by the way. This is the classic thing of lots of actors and artists, you know, creatives, you know, I don't know, like people who are very attractive. For others, people think that they have the right to harm people just in general. They also think that they have the right to hurt very attractive people because they have jealousy issues and they think, well, you know, they're always going to be attractive anyway, so, you know, they're still going to have a career anyway. Like, they're probably not even going to remember this experience. They would never go out with me. They would never go and sleep with me. That kind of energy, this is what I'm picking up with the Seven of Swords. So please be careful if you're still in that youthful energy between the age of 18 and 25, is that people can take advantage of your attraction, your attractiveness, your beautifulness, your handsomeness, your naivete. And they can take advantage of your connections as well, people that you know. And these people are people that would lace your drinks. You know, they would take advantage of you, or they would try and attempt to seclude you, put you in a room. You know, so just be careful of that. So make sure, if you can, in your younger years, if you're still in your younger years, and even your older years, just be more selective with the people that you hang out. You know, that you frequent, and just be very mindful that not everyone has the same heart as you, pile one. Okay, so that's something that I'm picking up on. I am picking up on like mainly a lot of actors in this pile. I'm picking up on a lot of actors, and I'm picking up on people that may have been I can't say the word here on YouTube, but have been taken advantage of physically, and have almost been left, have been left in a very dire situation, you know, and I see that here. You don't have to admit it to me. I see that here in the cards, and you know, as you know, I'm a very strong intuitive, but yeah, that's what I'm seeing here for you, pile one. And I think that what people find really attractive in you is, say for example, you are a trust fund kid. Who cares? Like, you're embracing it, but you're not doing what your parents have done. You're not doing what, you're not continuing with the family line of business, you know, legacy. You're wanting to do something else. Say for example, you're in the Hilton family, and in the Hilton, your surname is Hilton. You don't go and do the same thing as, like, what Paris Hilton did was so different from everything that the Hiltons had stood for. And so that's kind of the energy that I'm picking up on as well, is that she just ended up doing her own thing and ended up becoming a billionaire in her own right, you know? And there's something to be really admired by her tenacity and also her authenticity, and just that she wasn't going to be willing to change, just to change what she enjoyed and what she loved to do, basically, and to be herself. So she stayed in her integrity, and I think a lot of you, pile one, will be staying in your integrity. And that's what people find very attractive. So pile one, let's have a look. Let's have a look now with the Dreams of Gaia tarot deck, which I use as oracle cards, by the way. So pile one, what makes you hot and what makes you attractive? You have a lot of people fighting for you, pile one, with the 5 of Wands. I've just had a delivery, by the way. Side note. You know, abstract medicine community, you know I love the side note. So I spoke to my postman yesterday from afar, and I was like, no, sorry, this was 2 days ago. And he was like waiting to like get the digital thing sorted out so that he could get his pen and like hand me the pen, and so I could sign for, you know, what was being delivered. And I said, I was at a distance from him, and I said, look, it's best you just keep a distance because I may have COVID. And he was like, oh, right then. And he's got a funny sort of Coventry accent, and it's not funny, it's just strange to me, I guess, because I'm from London So I don't know. Anyway, but he's quite funny anyway, I think. And I think yeah. Anyway, I think he's been quite, he's had a soft spot for me since I moved here, basically. And he was like, oh, all right, then I'll just put the package on the floor and then I'll walk away and then you go pick it up. I was like, okay. So he did that. So this occasion, he didn't even bother to knock on the door. He normally knocks on the door and like lets me know, but he's like, not risking it, dumping whatever it needs to be dumped, and I'm driving off. So yeah, anyway, interesting. But yeah, don't worry, I don't think this is relevant to the reading, but I just thought it'd be fun for you to know. Yeah, anyway, so pole 1, a lot of people vibe for your attention. They find you very attractive, and they know that you have a lot of people that really admire you and very attracted to you. I feel like you could put people in fistfights without you even knowing. It's like people want to fight for your favor, for your hand, for your hand in marriage, for your hand in partnership, whether it's romantic or otherwise. I also think that a lot of people find you very attractive because you're very hardworking. They also know that your hard work is going to be paying off. Now, remember I did speak about Paris Hilton, who came across in her youth as someone who was very naive and like very dumb, but she knew exactly what she was doing. She was very calculated, but she was still having fun, and who's having the last laugh, so she's laughing her way to the bank. She's a billionaire now, self-made. To be honest with you, yes, she's got her family name, but her family didn't really want anything to do with her while she was DJing over here and there and acting dumb and like that kind of thing. So she's just I think it's that thing. It's like maybe you'll be biding your time until people kind of really realize your worth. And I think that there's something sad about that, but I think that's something also very very common in creatives, is that especially, like, of course I'd have to analyze your astrological natal chart, but there's something about creatives that we love to be seen. And I think that we love to be seen because it's an equivalence to love and appreciation that maybe we didn't receive in our youth, or maybe we did, but it wasn't quite enough. And like, listen to Hype A, by the way, my podcast. Hype A is a podcast that is about amplifying voices in the arts, and I'm the host of Hype A and the founder of Hype A, to see really what the whole hype is about in the arts, and I have just incredible guests that sit and talk with me for like an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, from around the world, and they talk about their failures, successes, their tips and tricks, and yeah, we all have like very similar stories, and we love to beam in the sunlight, in the sun, in nature, but also we love to be the center of attention. But we also crave, intimacy, like actually people really knowing and understanding who we actually are within. And I don't just mean physical intimacy, I mean like genuine appreciation for who we actually are from on a soul to soul level. And I think that for you, Pole 1, I think this is going to be hitting home for you quite in a deep way, because I think you'll resonate with what I'm saying, is that maybe you're going to find it a bit difficult, particularly you beautiful youngsters starting out. I mean, I wish I really got into tarot when I was a lot younger. I mean, I think I was still being initiated, but I wish I had YouTube then to guide me on tarot readings in particular, or like my auntie to tell me about, like, the way I learnt tarot was so indirect. And my family have done it one way or another, whether they've been deceased or not, and they taught me indirectly, and I just wish I had this kind of platform to get guidance, in that way. But maybe you're finding guidance through astrology as well. Maybe you're finding guidance maybe through a palm reader, a tea leaf reader, a coffee cup reader, you know. I feel like a lot of you are, you know, remember I spoke about travelers? I feel like a lot of you are travelers. I feel like a lot of you were travelers from past lives. And I don't think you're meant to really settle down anywhere in your earlier life, because you're meant to explore the world. You're meant to kind of retrace your steps from other places that you lived in. Pole 1. And I think that people really see that you have a gift. Again, they see your potential, they see your gift, they see your light. And I think that people, like well-intentioned people, will do whatever it takes in order to either protect you, to save you. Some people may have God complexes that you may cross along your path. I'm seeing a hero's journey being initiated, maybe over and over again. So I'm seeing a lot of people that are relocating and traveling and then relocating to another place again. And, you know, these are big moves. That these aren't, I mean, I've done it myself, and it's not, people think it's easy. Well, they think it's going to be hard, but they don't really understand how difficult it actually is when you physically remove yourself from one place that you've known all your life, or one continent that you've known all your life, to a completely new continent, with different foods, different smells, not as a holiday, as actually living there. And it changes it's been proven that these moves from one place to another actually changes your DNA. Did you know that? So, you know, that thing of nature and nurture, it's real. You moving from one place to another can actually actively change your DNA strands. How mad is that? So I think that I think in your youth, I'm seeing that film with James Dean, and it's like one of my favorite films, and I can't believe I've forgotten the name of it. He's in Hollywood, and he drives to the Griffiths Observatory. It's that film, you know what I'm talking about, and it's on the tip of my tongue, but it's that film where he's very hot-headed, and I think that a lot of you in your youth could be very hot-headed no matter what your gender is. And I think that maybe you start a lot of fights or people start fights with you because they're jealous, you know. They can't, but the thing is, they can't fight for something that they don't have. They have to find that within themselves or see their own assets, you know. And then we have the Queen of Water. So pile 1, what I'm seeing here is that you are very emotional. You are very loving. You want to save the planet. You do fight for Greenpeace. You could be one of those people that are on those boats, you know, in the middle of nowhere, holding on to a Greenpeace flag while there's pirates trying to kill you. I mean, these are real things that actually do happen. And I do feel I'm picking up on crystal children. I'm picking up on rainbow children. I'm picking up on indigo children. Like, you are star seeds, pile 1. And I do feel like a lot of you are Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy, or you are embodying that energy of sensitivity, of pure unconditional love, pile 1. Yeah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful energy. You're very caring, as I said before. You're very caring and protective. And I also think that people find this very attractive, that you want to save the planet. I'm picking up on Leonardo DiCaprio, by the way. I don't know why. Well, because of like his mission on supporting and protecting the earth. I mean, I haven't really validated that myself. Maybe I could do a pendulum reading on that, or a card reading myself. But I mean, I think his intention is good, and I do think he does well, but there's still something iffy about it in my mind. But that's my opinion. I haven't really, as I said, I haven't validated it with the cards or a pendulum. But, you know, what are you doing to save the planet? And I feel like that's what you're asking other people. Like, what? Yeah, okay, but you're complaining about this, and that. You're complaining that, you know, the water is dirty. You're complaining that that you have high like energy bills, that you're complaining about the petrol, the gasoline being really high. But what are you doing about it? What kind of natural resources can we use, like solar energy, you know, things like that, in order to change the planet and make things better and actually reduce costs, and be nicer to Gaia. I'm picking up on Keanu Reeves as well. I'm picking up, this is a very Keanu Reeves card as well. Like, I feel like, I don't know where, like, Keanu is Hawaiian originally, right? But I think that, I don't know, I haven't looked at his natal chart, but he must be some sort of Lemurian starseed for sure. Lemurian or Mu starseed, like myself. But yeah, he, like, this is the energy that he was just so kind and loving, and I think that you're, again, like, there's something very attractive about you. It draws people in. They want to know more. You have so much depth, pile one. You've got so much depth, and people find that very attractive. And it's almost like as soon as they get to know you, they want to like latch onto you. And this is kind of like giving idol energy. And it's funny because, like, you know, Keanu Reeves also played with James Dean. Wait, no, he didn't. He didn't play with James Dean. He played with River Phoenix, who's another one of the same kind of starseed group. I'm sure they're part of the same galactic group. But if you're tuning in now and you've no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know. Like, everyone, like, we all have extraterrestrial DNA. Shakara, oh my gosh, she did not say that. Yeah, I did. We all have extra outside of terrestrial Earth, like Earth state, Earth side DNA. Okay, so we may not necessarily be from one specific planet. We could have elements of different planets within us even. I love that. That's so metaphysical. Beautiful. John Donne would have been very proud of me, and John Dee as well. But yeah, anyway, so let me just keep going. Yeah, that's what I'm saying for you, Part 1, is that you're like, you have this connection with the islands. You're kind of like an island person, island boy, island girl, you know, like you love your vegetables and you love your shrimp and your chicken and like chicken running around and, you know, being in nature. And like, even if you're from Ireland itself, like you just love to be in nature. You love green, the Emerald Isle, and you have this energy about you that's very healing, and people find that very hot and attractive. You also have absolutely gorgeous eyes. Pile 1 is what I'm saying. You have very hypnotic eyes. Pile 1. Very hypnotic eyes. You've also got lovely lips, very luscious and bountiful lips. I'm picking up on Venus as well. Like, a lot of you may have very strong Venus placements, and you may also be Venusians as well. You're very lunar energy as well, with the planet that guides the signs of Cancer as well. And you're very intuitive, pile 1. Maybe this is my pile. I feel like this is my pile. Yeah, High Priestess. Yeah, this is definitely my pile. Like, what? I was like realizing there was just too many synchronicities in this pile. Yeah, so you're my people. Yay, you get it. It's not like we want to show off. We don't know, we want to be, we know that we're the kind of life of the party, and people find that very attractive. And but you have this air of mystery about you as well. Can you see the green again? Like the green and blue. I love this deck, the Fountain Tarot, gorgeous deck. You know, you've got this air of mystery about you. Like, people don't really know how you're going to be judging them. I feel like you're going to like rip them to filth when you do tarot readings, or intuitively, that they want to know what's going on in your mind. Pile 1, they're very, look, we've got the 5 of Wands again underneath that, which we had here. 5 of Fire. Yeah. So yeah, we have people fighting over for your attention. People, like, I feel like you have a lot of people, like, they try to get your attention on social media, and you're just like, I'm not bothered, I'm bored, I'm not interested. Part 1, let's have a look and see what else I'm picking up on. Let's have a look at the angel cards, actually. Animal cards. Let's have a look at the animal cards. You love to start new things. You start new trends with the Ace of Wands. You're leaders, not followers. Yeah, this is also something I say. Yeah, you just have your own way of doing things, and people find that very attractive. They love how active you are, King of Coins, active in that you are in the community, but also active in going towards, you know, because masculine energy is about activity and action. So you're very self-initiatory, if that's the right word, self-disciplined, and focus on your stability. The Queen of Water is super maternal and feminine. I feel like you bring a lot of Tower moments to people as well. Like the Tower card is Scorpio energy, so you transform people by your presence. Because we have number 13 here, which is, you know, in the cards in general, number 13 is always the queen of each suit. So 13 is the Queen of Water. So you activate people, you transform people's lives by your presence, you know, by your life and your experiences, but your depth. And you basically, I mean, definitely picking up on the healers here, psychics, as I said, you know, travelers from this life, maybe from another life as well, where you looked at scrying, you looked at the crystal ball, like you had different ways of you know, receiving your news and information other than just the norm. And people find that very attractive, very mysterious, very enigmatic. You also have a very good way of storytelling as well, as what I'm hearing as well. But yeah, number 13 is the Death card, and it's very transformative. And I also spoke about the Tower, which is Pluto energy. So you may have very strong Pluto, Mars, Venus, Leo placements, Jupiter placements, because Venus rules Taurus, which I mentioned, Mercury placements, because we spoke about Gemini, and also Virgo would be here as well. Capricorn is Saturn, so the Saturnian energy, I think actually that your Saturnian energy is where the hard work comes in again and it gets paid off. And I feel like people find that very attractive, your self-discipline. I think there are, you know, the thing is, as I always say, when you shine very brightly, where people have to wear sunglasses and they're like, oh, the light is too bright, you know, you're just gonna get haters, and it just comes with the territory. You shouldn't be afraid of them, you should just be cautious. And acting as your tarot auntie over here on YouTube, in this little corner of YouTube, to protect yourself. And you are highly protected anyway, but just be cautious and not be too naive that not everyone is going to be having good intentions. So the card that we have is absolutely no surprise. We have the brown bear and we have the healer. Okay, so I'm going to read it for you. It says, reflect on your qualities of inner strength, fearlessness, and confidence in yourself, and how you can project them in your world. The bear is a powerful guide to support physical and emotional healing in yourself and others. So as you get older, what will happen after the age of, I think, when you go through your Saturn return, which is 27, 28, 29, 30 years old, around those years, you will start to reflect inwards and start to withdraw your energy from the world, remove your energy from the world, because you actually realize that your energy doesn't have to be there for all people to see. It can be done through your creative endeavors. It can be done through like being on the spotlight. Hi. There was a robin just like, hey, look at me, and then just flew off. That's exactly the message. You could be like, hey, look at me, I'm over here, and then just go in your own direction and like protect yourself and self-heal. Go into the cave, going up to the mountain, just like the bear does, and heal yourself, you know. I feel like a lot of you are in great need of, especially as you get older, you'll realize that you'll need more and more and more time out and away from the world in order to self-heal and heal from source, the universe, source, God, however you wish to see and understand what source is. Maybe just see source as nature, and you get to replenish yourself away from others. And I think you magnetize a lot of energy, and I think that people get their energy through you. And so the more and more you expand your light to the world, the more and more well known you become, the more and more necessity and importance it is for you to be away from the world. And actually, if anything, that makes you even more attractive. Pile 1. So Pile 1, that's all I have for you. I hope you've enjoyed these beautiful messages from Spirit today. It's been really fun, and thank you for getting me out of my funk of being stuck indoors. Well, I like being stuck indoors, but you know what I mean, like in a way when I don't I have to because I'm a bit of a rebel and I like to do things that are, you know, I don't like to follow the rules, but in this case I must and I will and I have to. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. If you feel called to tip me, you can do that below. There's information below in the description box. And if you would like a private reading, a private session with me through tarot, mediumship, art therapy session as well, this can be conducted live via Zoom or pre-recorded. All the information is in the description on the website. You can do that there. Thank you so much. God bless. And please press the like button and subscribe to the channel. Bye for now. Bye. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So for those of you who chose the broccoli, which technically it would be broccolino or broccolo. But yeah, I know, you know, there was an Italian man called Broccoli, and he was trying to invent something, and then it ended up turning into this vegetable. So it's not the plural of broccolo, it's a surname, just like Fischetti is not the plural of anything, it's my surname, my last name. Pile 2, this is your reading. So what makes you attractive is that you are unexpected. Pile 2, you're unexpected, you're unusual, you're quirky, you're very quirky, Pile 2. You're very quirky, you're very cutesy, you're very cute, Pile 2. I mean, look, I just want to pick you up and put you in my pocket. Pile 2. Yeah, that's what people see. You could be pint size, you could be very petite. You could be triggered by the fact that people call you short, but actually you are short, but you're cute and adorable. And I think through your petite frame, I think people actually respect you. I think they respect you more because you stand up and you stand out. You're pint sized, but you have a loud voice. Like, you're not afraid to fight the good fight, I'm hearing. You're not afraid to defend yourself. And it's not, you don't have a complex about it, you just are who you are. And I think you are who you are unapologetically, and people find that very hot and attractive. So I'm also picking up on like Ariana Grande. She's really small. She's very petite. I think she's 5'2". I think she's 5'2". But then, you know, Kylie Minogue is like 5'2" or 5'3", you know, and I think that if you are a female, I think a lot, and you are whatever it is, doesn't matter what your identity is, but people want to like pick you up, put you in their pocket, like they want to kind of swing you over and just put you on their shoulder, sort of thing. They find you very attractive. The fact that like everything is like so compacted and sweet. I mean, you could also be you could also have dwarfism as well, and people find that the fact that you are a dwarf, they find it very attractive. And I don't mean in like a weird fetish, like gross fetish way. I mean that because you're different, you're unexpected. You know, you could have some sort of like difference in your body from the norm, quote unquote, and people find that very attractive. Pile 2. Did I say pile 1? I meant pile 2. They find the fact that you are unusual and different from what everyone else sees as attractive. I also just heard someone saying boring. Like, it's like boring. Show me something new, show me something different. And I think with you, pile 2, people do see that. They see something new and something different with you. All right. I love that. That's such a cool message. I mean, you could also be a vegetarian or a vegan, pile 2. People find that very attractive, that you have a very like healthy and balanced diet, pile 2. Yeah, let's have a look and see what other messages come up for pile 2. 1 second, let me just rearrange my dress. Excuse me. I'm still recovering, but yeah, I was just bored I wanted to do this reading, so it'd just be fun. Okay, so pile 2, let's have a look. So whatever defects you think, so I think at the beginning you felt like you had a defect because you weren't people's usual type, and I think that whatever you've overcome, maybe even through like counseling or like therapy of some sort, that's really helped you a lot. And your self-confidence is really improving. Some of you may have put on a lot of weight recently. Excuse me, this could have been maybe after pregnancy, like, or even during pregnancy for some of you. You're kind of finding like a refound confidence within yourself, so that we have the 9 of Swords. You know, and some people like people who are a little bit thick, you know, not thick in the head, thick like in their body. And I think that they find that about you very attractive, pile 2. You know, you could be thicker than maybe how you started off with in your adult life, you know, or you could be fatter, you know, like that's just how it is. You know, I'm not saying that in an insultive way, you know, fat is fat. Like, it's, and thin is thin, you know, but like I think before you would have been triggered by that comment, now you're just like embracing it. It's not in a like toxic way, it's more like I'm doing what I need to do, I'm eating well, but I'm also embracing this new body that I'm now embodying. You know, I'm now embracing this, I'm now enjoying and I'm loving my body in a way that I didn't love before, you know. And I think people find that very attractive. I feel like your attractiveness, your hotness comes from your inner self-confidence, and your inner self-confidence, pile 2, comes out. And I think that people find it very attractive that you have succumbed to a lot of people's negative commentary, maybe online, in your past, but now you're actually like, I've overcome it. I'm no longer succumbing to it. I will defend myself and I will speak for the truth. And I will say if something's not in the right resonance with me and I find that insulting, not only to me, but also to my fellow people, to my fellow kind, you know. And I think you used to have, you know, sleepless nights over this thing that you were very unsure, you know, insecure about. I think that you had to suffer in a lot of pain. And I think that it has been a very lonely, insular battle. And pile 2, I think that you have had to suffer a lot of falls, you know, to be honest with you. Now, the cards that we have are the Lovers card, which you know is my favourite card in this particular deck. I just absolutely love this beautiful painting. Just gorgeous. So we've got the Lovers here. The Fool card. Wait. Yeah. Just got a message. The 6 of Swords. Okay. And we have the 2 of Coins. So pole 2, what I'm seeing here, and the message that I heard was that you have a very youthful appearance. You have a beautiful face, pole 2. I think your face is the main attraction, pole 2, along with your inner self confidence, pole 2. So what people find very hot and attractive about you is that you never seem to age. They were trying to figure out what kind of work you've had done, and maybe you have had some work done, you know, plastic surgery or cosmetically, like with your hair, with your teeth, with your face, with your body, with your nails, whatever it was. It seems to work out really natural for you. And pole 2, people love, they want to get your secrets. Pole 2, you seem to have this joie de vivre. You seem to be very light-hearted. You seem to be, you know, very fun to be around, pole 2. You've got a very dark humor, I would say, pole 2. Excuse me. Got a little wasp. A wasp bashing on the window. They may have a nest above. I mean, what else have I got? I've got bats. Probably got a wasp like hive as well. So okay. Yeah, I've been working on not complaining at all, to be honest. When it comes to having COVID, but there are times that it's just like difficult. Anyway, I also feel like pole 2 people have tried to catch you off guard, and you're like, catch me outside. That's what I see, pole 2. I see that like people like, okay, bring it on. And they're like, oh, da, da, da. And then somehow you just show some kung fu fighting. Like you show some like kick-ass moves people just do not expect. Like, you know who I'm seeing, oh my God, who I'm seeing in my mind's eye is actually like my guilty pleasure, well, not really guilty pleasure, is Elettra Lamborghini. So she's the heiress of the Lamborghini family, right? And she's the only female. I don't know whether she has another sister. But they're all like her brothers and the family are very like conservative, very straight-laced and like very old money. And she's just like, I don't give an F. She's got like cheetah print tattoos on her backside. She's had her BBL done. She's had her breasts enlarged. She's had her lips done. She's had filler. She's had this, that, and she doesn't care. And she, I mean, kind of like pole 1 I spoke about Paris Hilton, and you know, she kind of like had her own, she made her own way. But I think she's still somehow like, even though she was quite Barbie, she still maintained her finesse and her sense of sophistication, I would say. And I think it comes down to the fact that her sun sign is Aquarius, so she has maintained that aloof factor. But with Elettra Lamborghini, I actually don't know her star sign, her sun sign, moon or rising, but she's so much fun. Like, she's someone I would love to hang out with, honestly. She would just, oh my, I would die of laughter. Like, I've seen so many videos of her, my sister, Veronica, who's like, I love her so much. I grew up with, like, she's a year older than me and she's from Rome. And like, her and I absolutely love Elettra Lamborghini. Elettra is just pure trash. She's so trashy, but she's so fun. And I'm not saying that you're trashy, pole 2. What I'm saying is that you don't give an F. You have 0 Fs to give. You have 0 Fs to give. And there's this moment where Elettra Lamborghini, Elettra, she was essentially on Big Brother in España, in Spain, and she had this girl who was like giving her all of this, like all this nonsense, and basically mocking her for her Italian accent. So Elettra had lived in Spain. I mean, she's an heiress. She's had private tuition, growing up. She speaks like 4 languages. I mean, like I speak 4 languages, but Elettra speaks very good Spanish, and she has a strong Italian accent. Who cares? So anyway, I don't really like this person either, to be honest with you. But, and I condone violence, okay? But this girl, it's like, when sometimes people just need to get a slap. Can't believe I'm saying this. But, or even the metaphorical slap, okay? This girl, oh my god, she was giving all that. This is my London, like, street side coming out. She's giving all that, and she just wasn't expecting what she was going to expect from Elettra, who's very small. She's, I think, 5'3", or 5'2", 5'3". And she's like, okay, well, in Spanish, she's like, okay, well, let's get out of the bus. They're all in this bus together. Let's get out of the bus. And she's like, okay, yeah, it's fine. Okay, you want to, what did I say earlier? I said, catch me outside, right? So she was like, catch me outside. So she got off the bus, she took off her heels, and she had her heels on her like shoulders or something. And then the girl had like taken her shoes off, and they were going back into their apartment. They were all sharing together. And this girl was like, you don't even speak Spanish well. Did it like, la 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 la. And normally like Elettra gets on with everyone. Like, she's a very fun, happy-go-lucky person. Like, she's attractive, and she's had the work that she's had done looks really good. I think it looks really good on her. And I feel like you're my girls. I feel like Pal 2, you're like mainly females or gay guys who are my girls. Okay, you're my like fun girls. Okay, and I feel like you know what I'm talking about. And anyway, and so basically she was just like, all right, boom. And she kind of just did this move. I don't know how she did it. She moved in such a way, Elettra, she moved in such a way that it was like, it was difficult for you to catch up with your eyes. Like, she was so... Of course, she also had martial arts training. She's, she horse rides professionally. She speaks 4 or 5 languages. She's traveled the world. Her family have like a home in most places around the world, and she's been exposed to a lot of culture, high and low culture, mainly high culture, but low culture for her own choosing. And and I feel like for you, Pearl 2, sorry I went on a massive tangent, but I feel like you'd appreciate this, because I feel like you're my like girls, and I want to like hang out with you and just like talk trash, to be honest. Yeah, you're my LGBT fam. And yeah, I mean, I'm not LGBT, but I'm definitely an ally, and it's just fun, and anyway, so I think that you like come across as really fun, Pal 2, but actually you can hit someone nasty. Is what I'm hearing. So Pal 2, you travel a lot, Pal 2, or at least you people don't know where you are. They don't know where to locate you. A bit like Pearl 1, but slightly different. Okay, it's a slightly different energy. You carry a bit of mystery about you, but I feel like you are my socialistas. Okay, you're like my socialites. You're the people that like to be here, there, and everywhere, but you don't show it all the time online. Like, you're actually very discreet. You're kind of like the bubbly side of the bubbly part of the party. Yeah. I don't think you're always online. I actually think you try to avoid being photographed or even papped. I just heard papped. So you could be very well known. You could have paparazzi that you try to avoid. With the Six of Swords, this is about you traveling away and moving on. So I think that you've moved away from the spotlight. You don't want to be papped. You don't want to be. I just heard someone say here on Pole 2, yeah, because I want to know good. Pole 2, what makes you attractive and hot is the fact that you have a little bit of a devilish side to you. You have a little bit of a naughty but nice side to you, Pole 2. That's what I'm saying. You have a fun and frolicking side to you. I'm seeing people on Parliament Hill, in Primrose Hill as well. I'm seeing people in Primrose Hill. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Aries energy here, Gemini energy in particular. I think, occasionally, I think you may have gone through a bit of depression, but I think occasionally you go into some darkness, and I think that you just like to self-heal and you don't want other people to know. And I think you have lots of choices in love and in lovers. And I think, if you swing most ways, then I think if you are people who don't really have that much of a hang up on what society's norms are, then this would definitely be your pile 2, because I think that this would be, I would say, mainly LGBT Q community here in pile 2. Like, you just do who you want. Pile 2, you're so saucy. Pile 2, you're so saucy, so savvy, and I just love your energy. I would want to party with you. Like, you're so much fun. You're just so naughty. Like, the things I'm hearing in my ear, I don't even know if I can say it on here on YouTube, but you're just fun, and you're fun to be around, and you're infectious. Your humor is infectious. You have like such an infectious air about you, and it's like what I'm seeing. I'm now seeing the actress who's the daughter of Ray Winston. So he's an East London actor. I don't know if he was an EastEnders actually, but his daughter, Winston, you know who I'm talking about. She's kind of unusually attractive, but very attractive in her own way. Also her accent as well. Like, I think your voice is also very attractive. Again, pint size. You kind of, for many people, surprisingly, have a lot of suitors. Let's just put it like that. You have lots of suitors, male, female, and otherwise. And people find that very attractive about you. They're like, even if people are straight and they're around you, they almost want to know, like, would you find them attractive, even if they're straight? Not like you're trying to turn people, but what's really attractive about you, Pile 2, is the fact that you have so much natural sex appeal. that it rubs off on people. You're so naughty. I'm like literally hearing it in my head. You're saying things like, yeah, well, I like rub you off on this, you know, like, you're so naughty. Like, you're like the jesters, you're the ones that kind of heckle, and you're the ones that can be a bit uncouth, to be honest with you, maybe a little bit unrefined. Who cares about sophistication? Pile 2. But that's what I'm saying for you, excuse me, Pile 2, is you just give 0 Fs. You're just here to live life and have fun and to sleep with as many people as you want. That's what I'm hearing. So those are kind of really the main messages. I don't feel like you don't suffer fools at all. I don't feel like you're really, to be honest with you, I don't really feel like you're into a deep, meaningful relationship. I think you're just having fun, and I think you want life to be fun, because actually, to be honest with you, if anyone tries to, you know, lock you down, you run to the hills. You get yourself a first class ticket, even second class ticket, who cares? Single though, one-way ticket out of there. And I think it's because I feel like some of you may have actually suffered from a very, very significant illness. I feel like some of you may have suffered from cancer, to be honest with you, and therefore, I think, and this is where the 9 of Swords is coming from, I feel, or something that was very jarring that had happened in your life recently or a long time ago. It doesn't really matter when, but Pile 2, I'm saying that this thing has really woken you up. It had awakened you into being a bit more lighthearted and a bit more frivolous. So you're tapping more into the lighthearted energy of who you really are, and you're wanting things to be light. You don't want things to be heavy. You don't want things to be serious. You just, you know, you just don't want to go deep. Stop it. I can literally hear you saying like things like deep throat. Like, come on. You're so cheeky. I have to end this reading in a minute, because all I'm hearing is just like such naughty words, Pile 2. Yeah, so what I'm saying is you'd rather just have fun. You're so saucy, honestly, Pile 2. I can hear it. I know it, I can see it, I can sense it. You know, each pile is so different. You have lots of choices. I feel like you'd like to juggle 2 people at the same time, and I feel like people find that very attractive. It's almost like, will I be the one that will be chosen? Pick me. And I think that's what people find very attractive and very hot about you, is that you are very funny, you have a light-hearted energy about you, you carry lightness around you. When things get really tough and things are really hard in the world and people are going through pandemics, you're the life of the party. You bring light and life and healing to so many, and this is part of your purpose, Pile 1. I think you're my natural comedians. I think you're my natural, you know, it's like Robin Williams was suffering from deep depression, 9 of Swords, you know, but no one would really have understood that until after his passing, right? And he was such a caregiver. He was so like philanthropic, and you know, like, I don't know if you know this, but you may have, but Robin Williams, the actor, and even Robbie Williams, you know, Robin and Robbie Williams. Robin Williams, the actor and comedian, and Robbie Williams, the singer and entertainer. Let me entertain you. Yeah, had suffered from dark depression. And I think with Robbie Williams, it was undiagnosed ADHD as well. So anyway, you know, like, the more depressed you have been, or more difficult the situation, the more the extreme it's going to be, the more happiness, the more humor, the more fun, the more frivolity. And I feel like for some of you, you may have lived during the times of Napoleon Bonaparte. I feel like some of you may have lived in the times of King Charles the I can't remember which one, 3 or 4. Yeah, where there was just a lot of gaiety in the truest sense of the word, you know, and a bit of vanity as well, you know, like the bigger the wigs, the bigger the parties, the more opulence. Like, who cares about us using commoners' taxes for our parties and our cakes and our beautiful, wonderful silk outfits and dresses and jackets? Who cares? Let them eat cake, kind of thing. And I think that you are going through that karma right now in this lifetime, that some things do need to be taken seriously. But overall, Pile 2, people find you very hot and attractive because you're unexpected, you're unusual. Okay, so I've just edited. You have 0 Fs to give, and yeah, you just aren't gonna suffer fools, and you're kind of here unapologetic, basically, and it doesn't matter what race, what size, what identity, how you swing, you're just doing you. Sorry, this is a weird thing that's going on outside. That was mad. Okay, so this wasp. Okay, side note, this is what we like to do here on Abstract Medicine. There was a spider outside on the window, and it was like ready to catch whatever was going to come into its trap. And this wasp has been coming in and out, almost like antagonizing it a little bit, going, hey, I'm over here, hey, I'm over here, try and catch me, kind of thing. And the wasp ended up just flying directly to the spider, catching it. They ended up having a fight, and then the wasp just like flew off. And the spider's a bit annoyed at the moment, so the spider's just like gone all the way out from its web and into the wall outside. So yeah, again, I feel like this is your energy, Pole 2. It's like you're just, you can antagonize a few people. You can antagonize a few people. Let's just have a look. I mean, you might rub people off in the wrong way, and then you're just like, Electra Lamborghini. Okay, bring it on. Did I talk about the hero's? No, I talked about the hero's journey in Pole 1, but you may resonate with Pole 1. We have the hero here. When a hero comes along with the strength to carry on. Da, 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 da. Yeah, you will survive. I will survive. I got all my. I mean, if this is not a gay anthem, I just, you know. I got all my love to give. I got all my love to live. I will survive. I'm also picking up on Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Oh, I love that film so much. Oh, I love that film so much. I watched that religiously with my mum when I was a kid. I loved it so much. It's so extra. And this is you, Pole 2. You're so extra and so fabulous. And thank God you're alive. Thank God you're here. Thank God you survived whatever crisis, whatever horrible things people have said to you. Whatever you've experienced, thank God you are alive and you're here. Because, to be honest with you, Pole 2, we need your energy. We need you to be here. Fun and frolicking and like fabulous and like, hey, I'm here. Just all in your diva. All in your diva. Pole 2, you're divas. And this is what people find very attractive and hot and exciting about you. It's like, you're not afraid to say things that people are really afraid to say. You're not afraid to wear things that people really want to wear, but they're so afraid. Like, you may have an alter ego as well. Like, you may have, like, I have a hairdresser who does my hair, and his pastime is drag, right? So he wears drag and he's a she, you know. So daytime or like normal time, he's a he identifies as he. And when she comes out, oh my god, she's so fabulous. He's actually got like hair up to here and it's kind of wavy, and like the wigs the wigs she wears, oh, they're so fabulous. So yeah, I feel like, I mean, look at that. I mean, if that's not a wig, beautiful afro as well. I feel like for those of you who wear your hair natural, it looks so good. Or if it looks natural, it looks really good. And I feel like people find it very attractive, like the way you style your hair, how you do your hair, how you wear your makeup. I find it very attractive. You may be my lucky star. Yeah, I'm also hearing that Madonna as well. I think that there's lots of like, it's very camp. Pile 2, you're very camp. Whether you're camp or not, you're very camp. And people find that very attractive. It's like you're a beautiful rainbow of like fun. And who doesn't want to be around a rainbow? I mean, there are people out there who just like have such... I feel like it was really difficult for you to come out, you know, Pile 2. And I feel like maybe some people have outed you, Pile 2, you know, in your identity. I was also picking up on Freddie Mercury as well earlier, as well as Mercury, planet Mercury. So we have Gemini, as well as Mars with Aries. But I feel like maybe you do have father wounds here with the father. But we have the hero, which is the child, and we have the fool, which is also the hero. It's the beginning of the hero's journey. So, you know, you're no longer suffering fools. You're just going to be yourself. And I think you're going to be really well known for speaking your truth, maybe through poetry, maybe, you know, through music, singing. I've forgotten the name of that singer now. He was in that series about the 80s, HIV, about AIDS in the 80s. And it was on like 2 years ago. I watched it. It was really good, actually. Anyway, you are a hero, and people love that you drink people under the table, that you have fun, that you're highly charged, highly spirited, Pile 2, and people find you very attractive because you love to just be in the energy of, right, okay, well, on to the next. You know, I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. On to the next. Let's move on here. You know, you're not going to be hanging around thinking and worrying about things for too long. On to the next, move on. They find that very attractive, that you don't hold grudges. And I think, again, like, you break the chain, break people's curses that are inflicted towards you. And again, because you're in this energy of on to the next, with the 10 of fire here. Is it 10 of fire? Yeah, 10 of wands. So you're no longer going to be burdened by the status quo. You're in your own universe. You have this Uranus energy about you as well. Uranium, like, you, again, like pint size, but packs a punch. Look at it. So cute. Okay, the last card is the father card. So as I said, you may have father issues, but what makes you very attractive is you have like zaddy energy. Pile 2. Yeah. People want to maybe be dominated by you and, you know, use your imagination. Pile 2. And they love that you command a room and you're kind of in control, and they kind of want to be under it. I have to stop this reading soon because it's just I can't, with YouTube, I can't go, yeah, I know, I can't go down and dirty with it. I can't be naughty with you. But if you want to continue, or if you want more readings like this, just let me know in the comments and I'll provide it. But I have to obey with the I know sucks because we're both rebels, I know. But I have to obey with the YouTube laws now. So, especially if I want this channel to rise and increase and to expand. Yeah. So the card that we have here for you, do you remember how I spoke about Elettra, you may have tattoos and people find that very hot and attractive. You've also got lovely arms, lovely forearms, by the way, pile 2. You're very good with like your expenditure and your income, and people find that very attractive. But mainly it's about your humour, the fact that you give 0 Fs and that you just move on and you're not going to suffer fools, and you have multiple lovers and you're just living life. You have a joie de vivre that people find very infectious. You may have a tattoo, but remember how I spoke about Elettra Lamborghini having the tattoos of a cheetah print on her backside? Look at we have the cheetah right here. I don't think you are a cheetah. I think it's all consensual, by the way. And we have focus, okay? So pile 2, this is going to be your last card. Let go of other people's issues and focus on your own goals. Exactly. This is who you are, pile 2. When you're focused on something, you just kind of run. And you don't suffer fools. You're like, okay, thank you, next. And it's the Ariana Grande song, which is like, thank you, next. You know, it's like, okay, I've had this boyfriend, thank you, next. You know, you were great, but thank you, next. You know, you may go to her concerts as well. Stop trying to please everyone, and you can't, exactly. Stop trying to please everyone. The cheetah is reminding you that things are moving at great speed for you at the moment. Okay, so that's also another beautiful message for you, pile 2. You need to keep yourself focused on your own direction and find the most direct way of achieving your goals. Exactly. Pile 2, people find you very goal-oriented, and people find that they don't know how to pin you down because you're on another trajectory. Like as soon as they meet you, you're on to the next. You're in one party and then you're in the next party, but people can't seem like not even the paparazzi can like lock you down. You're not people that call up TMZ and say, by the way, you can find me coming out of the Froyo shop at 5:04 p.m. on Tuesday. See you there. You know, like you're not going to drop hints to the paparazzi and let them know where you're going to be. You're not really paparazzi, WHOREs. You actually loathe them, I'm hearing. And you're just more about having some fun, to be honest with you. I'm also picking up on Britney Spears here as well. So Britney, if you're listening and watching and you've enjoyed this reading and this is your pile, then cool. Yeah, this is fun. And you know, Britney is a sun sign Sagittarius, and Sagittarius and Gemini are opposites, and they are a good match here. So you could also have South Node or North Node in either of those signs too. Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing, pile 2. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. You're meant to travel. You're meant to keep changing your looks. You're meant to keep people at the edge of their seats is what I'm hearing. Pile 2, it's been an absolute joy reading for you. I've really had lots of fun. If you've enjoyed it, please press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and maybe put a comment down below as well. If you'd like a private reading, a private session with me through mediumship, tarot, or an art therapy class as well, this can be conducted via Zoom or as a pre-recorded video. You can book directly on the website down below, which I provide, and all the information is there. Thank you so much. God bless. Take care, and bye for now. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So for those of you who chose the panda doing some fun moves, I was going to say dad moves, then this is your reading. So pile 3, what makes you attractive? Why do people find you hot? What makes you hot and attractive? Welcome to your reading. So what makes you hot and attractive is you want people to be close, but not too close. Excuse me. You want people to be close, but not too close. You want people to see you, but you don't want people to see you. You're kind of a living contradiction, pile 3. What's going on here? I'm excited to read your cards as well. I want to see what cards come out for you. You could have some dad moves. You could. You may have dad moves over here, pile 3, and it's like cringe-worthy, but you love to dance. And I think that's what makes you really attractive, pile 3, is that you know that maybe you're not the best dancer, but you still love to dance. I'm also picking up on people who have pot bellies, and you take every opportunity to show off your pot belly. You just love it. You got like a Buddha belly going on. Pile 3, I'm seeing the laughing Buddha as well. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Pile 3 is that you could be willingly getting yourself out there to embarrass others. And people find that very attractive. Pile 3. That's so funny. Yeah, I do think you are a living contradiction, because you're black and white, you know, here with the panda. And I'm not talking about like, you know, you're multiracial. It's not that. That's not a living contradiction. Like, we're all, I mean, if you really think about it, we're all multiracial. But yeah, I feel that for you, pile 3, pandas could be significant. Just saw 222 on the timer. And pandas are from China, aren't they? Asia. Well, I did speak about Buddha, so, you know, Asia. I'm also hearing Gangnam Style as well. So Korea as well. That's funny. You know, there was like that hook of the song, whoop Gangnam Style, whoop 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 whoop, and I think there's like that awkward cult classic move, you know, that everyone like wanted to do that move. Gangnam Style. That's cool. All right, pile 3. What makes pile 3 hot and attractive to others? Thank you. All right, so the cards we have, need one more. You just get one more. There it is. Okay, well, that makes sense. So we have Wheel of Fortune. I've got that Gangnam Style song in my head. Sorry if it's now stuck in your head. 4 of Wands. Yeah, you love to celebrate. Pile 2. Oh, sorry, pile 3. You could have joined in from pile 2. You love to celebrate. You love to have fun. You love a party. You love honestly, I feel like for you, pile 3, you love any opportunity where you can embarrass people. And I'm particularly picking up on a dad that loves to embarrass their daughter. I don't know why, but that's just what I'm saying. So with your dad moves, so funny. 4 of Wands, the Strength card. Hopefully you can see that card. It is a beautiful card there. It goes into focus. It's quite nice too. Okay, and the Queen of Swords. So straight off the bat, I will say hot and cold. Pile 3, you're hot. Hot, then you're cold. You're yes, then you're no. You're in and you're out. You're up and you're down. You're wrong when it's right. It's black when it's white. Kiss and make up. See, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, you are a living contradiction. Okay, the shadow, I know, look, Geminis, please don't hate me. The shadow aspect of Gemini is that unhealed Geminis. I have a lot of Gemini people in my life, but that I love and I'm in touch with and contact with still. But my goodness, the shadow aspect of Gemini is the living contradiction. It does my head in. Yeah, let's do this. No, let's do that. Like, so many indecisions and changes will happen in I don't know, a space of 5 minutes, my rising Capricorn self just gets so irate. I'm just like, make a decision and stick with it. Anyway, pile 2, hot and cold, okay? Hot and cold. Pile 3. Well, first of all, let's look at the light aspects. So pile 3, what people find very attractive about you is your money. You know, they find that your fortune, in particular, is very attractive, and how fortune seems to follow you everywhere. And fortune, remember, follows the brave. Okay, so pile 3, people find your bravery very attractive. Your courage, your tenacity, your strength, even your physical strength. Maybe you're athletes or yogis, or people that can like contort yourselves in different positions, or not. You know, you just seem to have a very strong physical strength about you that people find very attractive, and they feel like it's like a God-given gift, that you have this. Like, your muscles are very strong. You seem to be undefeatable, okay? I'm picking up on people that have very strong legs. People find your thighs very attractive. Your mouth very attractive. Like, you may have very, like meaty lips or something. You have beautiful hair, wonderful mane. Like, people find that very attractive, pile 3. And they feel like you are blessed with beauty. You're blessed with a lot of beauty. What I'm picking up on as well is the Queen of Troy had sunk. Her beauty had sunk a fleet of ships. So your beauty, your attraction could sink a lot of ships. Pile 3. I'm picking up on dominatrix here. I'm picking up on people who are very strong-willed and who know exactly what they want when they are actually in an energy of knowing what they want. Overall though, you're people who know exactly what you want, and you're people who are very steadfast. You're people who are very it's getting hot and sticky. You're people who are very brave, and you're people who are able to cut people out. Particularly when it comes to advances that they don't want or wish for. They just want it, they're just here, you know, a girl just wanna have fun. Oh, just wanna have fun. You know, Cyndi Lauper, she just wanted to have fun. And she did. You know, part 3, and I feel like, you just want to have fun. Let me keep dancing. So stay away from me. Okay, you gone? Okay, cool. So I can like dance still. So pile 3, like, that's it. Like, don't cramp my style. Don't rain on my parade. Like, that's the energy that you're giving off, pile 3. And people find that very attractive. It's like, people have to come correct towards you or not at all. And they find that very attractive, that you have very strong boundaries and very identifiable ethics that are very apparent. They seep through you, I'm hearing. Your ethics seep through you. And you don't take any prisoners, basically. Leo energy here, Gemini energy here, which I picked up on, Aquarius possibly, and even Libra as well. Wheel of Fortune, Well, could be Sagittarius energy as well. Could be Sagittarius energy here. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing here for you, pile 3, is what people find very attractive about you is your knack for business, your knack for wealth, for making money, for coming across as someone who is very financially savvy, someone who is very lucky when it comes to making money. It's like you are a money magnet. Pile 3, like people really genuinely imagine that you are a magnet, and people like, oh, I'll just give you my money. Like, you could be people who are looked after. You could be like, without you having to lift a finger. There's something about your energy that calls for that. Not only because you're coming across as the queen, regardless of what your gender is, but actually it's more that this is your natural way, this is your natural stance, and you come across as very regal, pile 3. I'll say this, you come across as very regal. And I would say for some people who are unhealed, a little bit intimidating. Pile 3, you may have very jet black hair, and people find that very attractive and hot. You could have a very pale skin. So they've got 2 types of people here. You could be very, very fair, or have very, very pale white skin with jet black hair. So you could be Indian, you could be Native American, wherever, South Central or North American, that is very pale and still have jet black hair, right? So it doesn't matter what caste you are. You could be just very pale, and Hispanic or Latina, but have jet black hair, and people find that very attractive. Or you could be very golden. You could be a California girl. You could be a beach girl, like a surfer girl. Again, no matter what your gender, you could be very golden. Like I'm golden, and I'm brown, mixed. But what I'm saying is you don't have to necessarily be white, to be golden. Like you could be white, but actually you're very golden because you are living in Orange County, or you're living by the beach in LA, or you're living somewhere very sunny. I'm picking up on very warm climates here in particular. Okay. And you could be very golden with like blonde hair, or you could have a very warm aura about you, so very orange and yellow. And but if someone, I think to be honest, I feel like this is your natural state. Like you're very like fun. People who surround you, what people find very hot and attractive is that you magnetize a lot. You attract a lot of admirers, you attract a lot of people, you attract a lot of amazing opportunities, and people think it's just good luck, and it's not. It is a gift that was given to you by the source. And it'd be really interesting to see your natal chart, to be honest, because I'm just studying this at the moment. I find it fascinating how accurate it is, astrology. Excuse me, but I feel like Leo energy here, as I mentioned, but I feel like even your financial businesses are lucrative. I mean, at least on the outside, that's what it comes across as, is that people find that you, like, a lot of people want to sponsor you. A lot of people want to work with you and collaborate with you. They want you to wear their clothes. I'm picking up on influences here. I feel like when people are around you, they see that you're very warm and loving and very sweet, and you're not intimidating at all. But if someone ever crosses you, and this is what people find very hot and attractive, because you have strong boundaries. Remember I spoke about that. You have very strong boundaries. You know how you should be treated and what you deserve, and the respect that you give yourself is the respect that you expect from others. And what the consequences of people misjudging you after treating you unkindly is an ice queen, you know, pole 3. As I said, Gemini, Libra and Aquarius could be in your chart, or you could embody those energies of, you know, Libra is very luxurious and is ruled by Venus, loves things in balance, but also, you know, the shadow aspect can be a little bit over frivolous or maybe indecisive, you know, or maybe a bit too dreamy, or maybe too overgiving, right? And so and with the shadow aspects of Aquarius, it could be like, well, maybe once in a while actually communicate with people. Don't be completely off grid. You know, and like be more emotive and maybe less logical. And the shadow side of Gemini, which we already mentioned, is indecision, and a bit of a gossip queen, to be honest with you. So no matter what your gender is. So pole 3, but really the light aspect of this card would indicate that you are not going to put up with people's nonsense. You're going to cut people out immediately. And people regret if they've ever hurt you, what they've done. You have very strong boundaries and people find that very attractive, and they know that should they ever cross you, they know what the consequences are, and the consequences are usually you cut people out of your life completely, and it's their loss. And they know that you are a treasure, you are of great fortune, pole 3. And for a lot of you, pole 3, who resonate with this reading, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel if it does resonate, please. Thank you so much. It really does help expand the channel. I think that you are not for everyone, pole 3, and I think that's what makes you very attractive. I think you're not for everyone. You have a very select amount of people around you, I think, and those people have the privilege of being invited to your home. They have the privilege of like partying with you, and this is when you kind of like, you know, your goofy side comes out and you're like, hey, let's do Gangnam Style, like dancing, and it's fun, and like whoop 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 whoop, Gangnam Style. You know, like you're so goofy really, and like warm and so loving and so maternal, and like the lion and the lioness is very protective and proud and yeah, just so loving. And it's like, you know what this is giving? It's the sticker is giving look but don't touch. And this is exactly what I'm picking up on, pole 3, is look but don't touch. And that's what people find very hot and attractive. It's like, I'm really tempted, like I feel like you have lots and lots and lots of admirers, pole 3. I feel like they're all over the internet. I feel like they're everywhere. Everyone has had ideas about you, fantasies about you, has thought about you. And I think that, you know, maybe you are a bit of a lone wolf. Maybe you suffered in relationships, you know, and maybe people keep coming in trying to see like, oh, could I be the one that could change her? Could I be the one that could change him or them? And they try and you let them, and it's like, no, wrong again. It's those things. I feel like maybe you've been married 3 or 4 times, you know. Maybe you're not into marriage. Maybe you're not into relationships in general. But yeah, I love this energy, and they find that very attractive about you, that you're just like, you're difficult to be convinced. They find your intelligence very admirable and very attractive, by the way. Bottom of the deck we have the 8 of Coins, which is telling me that you are always on I got money in my mind and mind on my money. So you're all about the business. And it ain't none of your business, is what I'm hearing. So yeah, you're very smart. Pole 3, you're incredibly intelligent, very astute, very intellectual. And people find your mind very sexy. They find your intellect, the way you speak, how you speak, your accent, if you have an accent. I mean, everyone's got an accent if you travel to another place. But they find it very attractive. They find it very hot, like how you say things, how you think about the world, how you think about things. They find your business savvy very attractive and very appealing. And again, I feel like lots of people want to work and collaborate with you as an excuse to kind of like be with you and maybe even be blessed with your wisdom. To be in your presence would be great, a great blessing from the universe and a dream come true for many people, to be honest with you, pole 3. And I think that's what a lot of people find very attractive about you. Yeah, you're very you're very witty, pole 3. You're very witty, you're very quick, and you have a very strong wit, pole 3, and people find that very attractive and hot and admirable. I don't think that you are really into relationships so much. As I said, I think you're more about friendships and sisterhood, if anything, if you're females, you identify as female. I think some of you also have a child or who have had children. I think you've been through some dark experiences. I think you may have been through some sort of trauma. But again, it's look, don't touch. It's like, you know, let me just part. Can a girl just not party in peace, please? Or with her mates at the beach, you know? This card is actually really reminding me of my mum. It's so funny. My mum's a Gemini. Mum, if you're watching, hi. But there's this thing that she's got this drink, and it's called Bomba. And like my neighbor brings these really ridiculously long straws, and this is what it reminds me of. It's like Bomba, and he brings the straws, everyone's around this drink, and they just start, you know, drinking Mum's recipe, and it's at the beach house, so it's funny. And Mum, if you pick this path, this is your path. So we have the father. Okay, so pile 3, the father. Wait, I didn't shuffle these cards. Let me just shuffle these cards because they're the same cards that came out earlier. I did shuffle them. Let me just shuffle again. Exactly same cards from pile 2. So you may be resonating with, you may have resonated with pile 2. Okay, so yeah, and then one more. Oh, there's too many. Yeah. Okay, so we have heaven and earth. Again, in between. The in-between. The indecisions. Heaven and earth. Do you want to be in heaven or do you want to be in earth? I don't know, I want to be in both. I don't know, I want to be in heaven. I don't know, I want to be in the... God gets really annoyed. It gets mad. It's like, fine, I'm going to make you a being that's in between heaven and earth, okay? Because you can't make up your mind. I'm getting a headache. I'm seeing God getting really annoyed. There should be, I'm sure there's a meme about that for Geminis. It's like, yeah, do you want to do this today? Or do you want to do that today? I don't know, I want to do this today. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Anyway, and then we have death and rebirth. This is beautiful energy. It's actually reminding me of Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene energy. Goddess energy, indeed. And, you know, you do come across as a bit of a goddess and kind of an intimidating goddess, one that, again, is look but don't touch, pile 3. And I think that you have an inner child within you that is very protected. I think very protected by spirit, indeed. And I think you are the natural shamans and natural psychics. We have the snake here and the egg. Very maternal. Beautiful cards. And then we have the 3 of earth here. Yeah, so I feel like you like to heal, you like to protect, you like to make things grow. You like to invest in things. I feel like you are good at financially investing and stocking and saving. You're very good with that, pile 3. You don't like to pay things last minute. I mean, now that's the irony, isn't it? It's like, oh, I don't know if I should do this or this or this. But actually you, because you have a higher intelligence than most people, let's be frank, and you know what I'm talking about. You have like a really interesting computer brain. Like, all brains are computers, but you have a really interesting computer brain where you have everything filed in its right place and you know exactly where to get your information from in your brain. And you're just very focused when it comes to saving and making money and other things when you choose to. You also like to play dumb. Pile 3, you like to play dumb. And I miss I don't know. And actually, pile 3, you're very coy. And I think that people find that very attractive. They find that very attractive and very, very hot. You know, Naomi Campbell is like that. My mom's like that. They're very similar. I swear they come from the same star family. They also like look identical, at least to my eyes. And yeah, they have the same energy of just kind of, yeah, just cool, very cool, calm and collected. And then like ready to pounce if needs be. But they care for their children, they care for their home, and their stability, very much so. And we have healing. So again, we have the natural healer here. This could be Virgo energy as well for some of you. Pile 3, you could be Virgos, you could be natural medicine women, medicine men, medicine people. So you may use natural herb medicines. Again, natural shaman here, the shaman, the guru, teacher. So yeah, you're here to alchemize the world, I'm hearing, pile 3. People find your presence very healing, and they find that you actually being of two worlds very attractive. So this could be two worlds where your one parent was from one area of the world and another parent was is from another area of the world, or that the fact that you live between two worlds where you're kind of very much in the physical plane, making money and doing very well, and like actually you're quite wealthy, or at least you're coming across as like old money, like you're coming across as someone who has a lot of wealth, but you may not necessarily show your opulence in a gaudy way. You show it off in a very, well, you don't even show it off. Well, maybe you do show it off sometimes. See, Gemini energy. You show it off in a way that is very elegant, and how you speak is very eloquent as well, and how you speak is indicative of your understanding, your standing in society, your education, whether it was, you know, through university or through upbringing or the books that you've been reading or self-teaching. Yeah, it's showing as being very attractive and hot to many people. And yeah, as I mentioned before, you have heaven and earth, and it's this connection of both that people find very attractive, that you are very grounded and into making money, but you're also very much a nature being as well. You're very much into the sea, the beach, the sand, the earth, and actually you're pretty grounded. For people, for a lot of you who are air signs and who are healers, you're very logical and you're very grounded, pile 3, and I think that's what people find very, very attractive about you. So that's beautiful, pile 3. Let's have a look at your angel, sorry, what's what angel cards? Well, they are angels, aren't they? Animals. So let's have a look at your animal card and see what is going to come out for you. For pile 3, what makes you hot and attractive? Yeah. So we have snow leopard. So this would make sense because, you know, we had the air energy of Gemini in particular. Virgo as well is ruled by Mercury, just like Gemini is. But we also had Libra and Aquarius, which are air signs. So we also had the strength card, which is a lion, and it's a female group, the feline group here, and we have this leopard, yeah? So that makes sense. So Ice Queen, but warm and fuzzy really on the inside, and very focused, as I mentioned before. We have instinct, so supreme master of intuition. That's exactly it, pile 3, is like people find you very attractive because you are supreme, you are goddess-like, goddess-like, and you are a master, you know, you are above, a cut above the rest, I would say. So supreme master of intuition, the snow leopard teaches you the art and mastery of listening to and trusting your innate instincts. Your journey starts high in the mountains. So pile 3, a lot of you people have found it very difficult to approach you because you give off this air of do not approach me. It's the air of an animal that is wild, like a leopard, like a lion, that's like, don't. I will eat you alive. You know? So but again, supreme, the mountain is solid and supreme. It's godly, it's high it's the highest height to heaven, and it's very symbolic. I mean, the mountain for me is very symbolic, but yeah, it's very symbolic to a lot of shamans. So your journey starts high in the mountains. The snow leopard leads you to a rocky outcrop where you view the endless possibilities and dreams beneath you. Trust in the path you choose. Yeah. So that's another side message for you. Trust in the path you choose, but also try not to be too uppity, pile 3. Yeah, don't be too uppity, don't be too supreme, don't be too snobby, and don't ever feel like people are beneath you and that people are your subjects. Like, have respect for yourself and have respect for others, pile 3. But what I will say is that even that, people find like very attractive. They kind of want to know what's going on up in that mountain on Mount Olympus. What are the gods doing today? Like, how will they play with my heart today? I feel like they like to be a bit of a masochist. They like to be hurt by you somehow. They like to be rejected by you, because even being rejected by you and having an interaction by you is a blessing. This is so weird, but that's what I'm seeing here for you, pile 3. I really hope you've enjoyed these messages as much as I have today. Thank you so much. Please do press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to never miss a beat by subscribing. It really does also help to increase the channel as well, Abstract Medicine. And maybe if you feel like it, you could book a reading with me, a private session, or a pre-recorded video on mediumship, tarot reading, or art therapy. Thank you so much. God bless. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.